have to ask. I titled this, "Is it a curse?" And the reason why, because I recently I did an upload about how I do not want to be identified as any certain group. But I said that because I know this is a simulation. This simulation, you have certain programs. And called black is a part of this simulation. I don't believe in the real world they would call black. And as a matter of fact, I remember a guy, I don't know if he was part of the civil rights movement or what. I know he was like a boomer. Yeah, either he was a boomer from the silent generation. I remember back then being called black was fighting words. They would not dare be called black. But now people wanted to call themselves black. Now we know black and white is a social construct. But black, the way it is right now, is everything negative is attached to black. Everything negative seems to be attached to black. I don't like that type of identity. That is not what this particular group of people are. They're not black. And it was specifically given to indigenous black Americans, not Africans, not Jamaicans, not Haitians, not other people from the other parts of the Caribbean, specifically for indigenous people in the United States. People, copper-colored people in the United States were given that identity as black. But now you have other people that just identify as black, you know. You have to ask yourself the question, why? Why couldn't they be called by their original name? Why couldn't they be called by their indigenous name? Why did they have to be called black? Okay. We know it might be a byword. I mean, it's all laid out in Deuteronomy, right? 28. But now I want to get to why I'm talking about the title. Is it a curse? I looked at a video, and I've been thinking this to myself, but I looked at a video, and it showed black women with the longest eyelashes. Now, sometimes you can get artificial eyelashes, and they look cute. It actually makes the eyes look better, right? Just a little length on the eyelashes. But some people have their eyes, so many people have so much added to their eyelashes to the point where it just looked terrible. It was just out of control. It was out of control. And I just have to ask, what is going on with the generation of black women? They get worse and worse. The boomer is worse than the silent generation. Okay, and then you get the Generation X that's worse than the boomers. Then you get the millennials that's worse than the doggone Generation X. And you get the Gen Z that's worse than the millennials. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Okay? And we can blame whoever we want to blame. You can blame the government. You can blame the people in the community. You can blame a whole lot of people. But the bottom line is it has to be a curse. The bottom line, whoever's fault we want to say it is, this is a state of consciousness. It's really not too many other people to blame because really this is all going on inside the mind. This is a battlefield inside the mind. So to be honest with you, to be fair, it's nobody else outside to blame. It looks like it's other people, but it's really going on in our own mind. It is a matter of the heart. And what we are seeing, what I am witnessing in my reality with black women is something that started from a higher dimension. Okay? And black women continue to descend in consciousness. It is a curse. It's a curse. Not necessarily a curse that somebody just put on you, but you have to look at this state of mind and you just can't see that this is nothing other than a curse. Who got in the black woman's mind so badly to make her believe that she was just not enough? Why can't she be enough? And I get it. I'm not judging these ladies. I get what that pressure feels like. Now, I don't hardly do anything, so let me tell you. I don't really try hard when I go out. That's because I don't really do anything. I'm not trying to be seen by anybody. There's nobody that I'm interested in. But I can see women just dressing themselves up to look nice. Like, say, if you go to an event, you go out, you want to look nice. Women, I can see any woman wanting to look nice when they go out. Something is going on with black women where she just feels like she has to completely change her whole identity. Even if you want to say it's so-called black men or whatever, the society or media that gets in her head to make her feel like she's not beautiful, she's never affirmed. I'm going to have to say this because I understand what it feels like not to be affirmed. I can get all the insults in the world and I can be told everything that I'm doing wrong, but it's very hard for somebody to tell me that I'm doing something right. Very, very hard. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something. What I had to learn, and I'm still working on it myself, is that, number one, if I'm already suffering from low self-esteem, because let me tell you something, when people in general suffer from low self-worth, low self-esteem, it didn't just start when they got older. It started when they were a child. Most people who are in their 20s and their 30s and they have little to no self-worth at all, you best to believe that started when they were a child. So the best thing for me I had to do is I don't care about family. I had to get away. I had to get away because this started from somewhere. Because I remember when I was a toddler. I remember being a toddler and I remember being full of life. I remember being so creative. I remember a lot of things. And then all of a sudden, I turned a certain age and it was turned upside down. Everything that I was turned backwards. One person described it as I turned my back on myself, but something happened, right? Some kind of abuse or trauma happened where I literally turned my back on myself. I remember as an early toddler, like 4 or 5 years old, all these positive attributes. And then all of those positive attributes were gone when I reached another certain age in childhood. Now, I thought it could have been some kind of stuff like, I'll be honest with you, I could have thought it was autism and all that stuff growing up. I'm like, that was autistic, what's going on? When I went to get checked out, and I went to these groups to get, because I don't remember anything that happened. When I went to get checked out, they told me this sounds more like trauma. This does not sound like autism. This sounds more like trauma. This is trauma. This is not some kind of chemical disorder. This is literally some kind of abuse that caused me to leave my doggone body. And it could come across as some kind of autism, the symptoms. But something happened where my essence was taken. And something else came in. But that is not the same as children who really authentically have autism and have some kind of a chemical or whatever disorder. That's trauma. You gotta know the difference. And I've been to several specialists. So I just say that to say that I understand, not to get on the bandwagon or get on my soapbox. I say that to say that I get what it's like to not have self-esteem. Because I'm going to tell you something. How can you love yourself when you're no longer in your body? Something really bad, and a lot of young black women, something really bad happened to them at a very, very young age, to the point where they too young to even remember what happened to them. It'll be different if it happened to them as an adult. That's not to make it any less traumatic. It's still traumatic. But the thing is, when they're an adult and it happens, they have the memories to be able to explain what happened. They knew exactly who they were. They had a whole life from childhood and to growing up in their teenage years. They had a whole life. They were themselves all that time. So if something happened to them, they have a good memory of who they were. But when you are a child, and something really, really bad happens to you at the age of 4, at the age of 3, before you even remember anything, at least I knew how to talk before something happened to me. Some stuff happened to brown women where when they were 2, before they could even remember who they were. They were 2, they were 3. So when they grow up, their soul has already departed from them at the age of 3, 4 years old. And they have no clue who they were because they were only 2 or 3 years old. That trauma started very, very young, and it's done on purpose. But it's still a curse. It's still a curse. But it's not anybody else's fault. That's what I'm saying. It's not anybody else's fault. This is a matter of the heart. And people can say, what did the child do to deserve it? You have to understand that this is a mirror. Our life is a mirror. Everything that happened to me didn't really happen. Life right now, as I see it, is a series of events that never ever happened. I know that I am not in the real world. So everything I think happened to me in this world never happened. Everything is a mirror. That means I was and still am in the real world, and somehow my consciousness is here to get me to clear out what's going on in my heart to get right, so I can cross over whatever the heck I need to do. I've been saying this is the afterlife for me. It might not be the afterlife for anybody else, because I believe everything I see is a part of my mirror. So this can't be anybody else's afterlife, because this is my subconscious mind. How is it going to be somebody else's afterlife if everything I see is my subconscious mind? This is my mirror. So I understand what it's like for self-esteem to be so low that it's ridiculous, because things have happened to a lot of brown women, and the fact that in this life I see so much happening to brown women, it'll be different if it was just me. I see so much other stuff happening to brown women to the point where this is the curse that's just on brown women. And I think part of the curse, let me just say, I believe part of the curse is consistently dealing with treasonous men. They keep choosing these men above themselves, and this is the curse that they get for it. And I feel like this curse is brown women turning their back on the mother. They turn their back on the mother, and they just made these men the center of their world. They keep putting these men above them. I don't care if it's their son. I don't care if it's their husband. I don't care. Brown women, even in the real world, because this is not the real world, this right here is a mirror of what is going on with the consciousness of brown women that I see. That this is what brown women, who some of them who might be alive still in the real world and they haven't died yet, this is what we're going to see. This is the mirror that I'm looking at. This is going to be brown women. Brown women are cooked. So yeah, I can get why the self-esteem is so low, because some things happen to brown women where they were so young, it was before they even could talk, before they even knew who they were. And their soul left their body before they even knew who they were. The soul, I heard the soul doesn't really come into the body until about 1 or 2 years old. And then something traumatic happens to you at 3 or 4. You don't get a chance to know yourself. You don't have a chance to remember anything. Your life started off in trauma. You're rooted in trauma. Okay? That's a curse. You can't tell me that's not a curse. That is a state of mind, but it's a curse. Okay? So then I get back to say, who has convinced black women that they are not enough? Black women try so hard. And I know other groups of women too, but I'm talking about black women, brown women. I don't identify as much with other groups of women. I understand that women are women, and we are I don't care. I don't really identify with them as much. I know what it's like to be in my skin. Okay? So, uh, so when I ask that question, it's not for, it's not out of judgment. It's because the self love is lacking so badly to the point where nothing you can do. You can put a whole Cadillac on top of your head, and you're going to figure out how you can fit a Jaguar, how you can fit a Range Rover or something, and put some great looking eyes on everything, because it's just, you will never be in a. One guy explained this to me. He said black women are black holes. And he didn't say that to be nasty, because he's not even a black person. And he's not a person, I don't think, that really have anything against black women like that. But he said black women are black holes. Black holes. He said they're never ever satisfied. But I understand why now. He don't get it. He doesn't get it. But I get it. There is no self-love there. When there is no self-love there, there's nothing else anybody's going to be able to do for you. But at the same time, I don't want to come down hard on them, because I get why a lot of them don't have self-love. It started off when they were babies, before they even got to know who they were. And then on top of that, the trauma starts when they're toddlers. But then the abuse doesn't stop there. It continues to go for some brown women. It continues to go on and on and on until they are completely grown, to the point where the only thing they know is abuse. That is the only thing they know. And they've always been talked down to by their mother, by everybody else in their family, by their grandmother. Sometimes the matriarchs are worse than the men in the family. She might have been taken advantage of and touched by her men, which is bad. But then you have the matriarchs of the family that don't help at all. And they make her feel like she deserved what happened to her. And they defend the men, they protect the men, and they put down the young girl as if she was so fast and she shouldn't be so fast. And they would put down the 5-year-old girl, telling her she shouldn't be so fast. But they would protect the 35-year-old man, black man specifically, that molested this little girl. And they listen, these women do have a habit of protecting black male predators. I'm talking about black male predators, and they're in the community. These women do have a habit of protecting them. So, but at this time, it gets to a point where you have to realize something is wrong. Something is going to have to click in your head to say this is not right, and it's going to be a process to get better. And you're going to have to make a decision to get away from the people that don't do anything for you. Like the people who might have done nothing but put you down all your life, even if it's your mother, you might have to get away from her. She taught you self-hate. Now, I get that she been through something too, but she going to have to take care of herself. This is what I call, maybe you have to get into your dark feminine. Because you can't be worried about somebody else. It's time for you to take care of yourself. Your whole life you've been abused. You've been taken advantage of, physically abused, psychologically abused, spiritually abused. Your mother didn't help because she got problems too. Your father, no telling where he is if he was involved in it. And you just have to say, Toodles, I have to take care of myself. I don't have time for you. I don't care. Well, this family, your family's all you got. I don't want that family. If that's all I got, I'm going to take my chance being by myself, and it's going to be me and God. If that's all I got, I would just stick with me and God. Okay? Because that right there is the reason why my doggone self-esteem is so low in the ground, it's below sea level. That is the family that you tell me that's all I got. That is part of what's going on. They have a huge hand at my doggone confidence being below sea level. Okay? So if that's all I got, it'll just be me and God. Okay? God, GAWD. It'll be me and God. If that's all I got. I'd rather be me and God. Okay? You don't need that. You don't need that. All your life, these people just torn you down. They haven't done anything for you. You don't need that in your life. You don't need anybody gaslighting you saying, well, you only get one mother. Okay. And it depends on what kind of mother she is. Sometimes she might not be perfect, but she might have did what she could do, right? She might not be perfect, but she did what she could. But you have some mothers that they were not only not perfect, they put you in harm's way. Not only were they not perfect, they did things to harm you, and they put you in harm's way, and they allow other people to harm you. In that case, I don't care. She got to go. Forget that gaslighting mess about you only get one mother. Forget that mess right there. Forget it. This is where you have to get into your dark feminine right there, because you have to say F all of you. F you. F you, F you, F you, F you. F you, F you, F you. Who's next? Okay? You just gotta be willing to let everybody be upset with you. And do what you have to do to work on yourself, because nobody else is going to build you up. They didn't have a problem with tearing you down. They didn't have a problem with tearing you down, but it's up to you to build yourself back up. And we're like, well, okay, so get away from the people who only want to tear you down. If they don't have any kind words to say to you, they don't need to be in your life. It's enough that you have to work with folks that's interesting. That's enough right there, okay? But you don't need to just have somebody in your life that have done nothing but that's just said negative things to you. There's no need to be around them. Some brown women have had to go to family reunions to sit across from the uncle or whoever that have molested them, and they have to go to the family reunions to put on a smile and not show out. I just want to go to the family reunion. I'm like, no, this man put his hands on me. You want to pretend like nothing happened. You want to tell me to let it go. I am not going to go to a family reunion while this man is able to be a predator. He's able to be an edophile, an edophile. He's able to be an edophile, and everybody knows it, and they just want me to ignore it and go to the cookout. I just want to go to the cookout. I want a different family. I just want a different family. I don't like them. Okay? But anyway, that is it. And I will talk later. All right.